Before we move there, I guess just quickly the conclusion of the Aave situation. I mean, it's not the Aave situation. It's a Kelp situation, which hits Aave and so on, but it's much more complex. But just very quick take from both of you. What do you think of the bailout or how they're approaching this?
I feel like they can't be too openly talking about it, bro. Why are you putting them on the spot?
No, it's okay, man. Yeah, it's just like, hey, I mean, like, I'm glad that they're rescuing people, but it's just like tiny high level thoughts on like what this means, in terms of the precedent that it sets and so on.
So I think it does set a bad precedent, but I also think this is a one-off. I hope that DeFi learns from this and we don't get this kind of event again. I think that it has to be donations. I don't think Aave would be able to pay out so much, ETH back purely through loans. And a lot of the donations are genuinely through interested parties who would lose a lot of TVL if this wasn't solved, and ultimately a lot of revenue. So I think people are incentivized to donate. I don't think the hate people get, I don't think the hate, quote unquote hate, Stani got or Michael from Curve got for being ultra rich and not donating. I don't think that's fair at all. I think especially Stani made way more than he needed to. So I think that's okay.
I would like to say I would not have donated.
Okay.
Like, come on.
Anyway, wait. What are you gonna say, Jai? Sorry.
Yeah.
This is fucking lamb, bro.
This might be an underrated point. I don't think I've heard many people talk about this point of, okay, what does it now mean to be an Aave depositor, right? It now means that the Aave DAO and the entire community is going to bat for you, right? I agree with Saul that, like, hey, this probably isn't going to happen again on a $300 million size. But does this mean that, like, Aave is too big to fail at this point, right? Because I know that everyone's talking about how a lot of liquidity moved over to Spark, right? And how Spark's token's doing pretty well after these last couple of weeks of events, right? But I think the bigger story here is, like, I'm a big fan of Morpho and everything that they're doing, right? But, like, why would you go to some random curator, right, in some random pool where they're going to say, oh, not my fault. Oh, I don't even have any skin in the game here, versus going to a bank, essentially, a bank-style product where their equity and their team and everybody is going to work their asses off to make sure you don't lose your money, because that's how they lose their kind of trust as a brand in the space. So I actually think that this is like, if Aave continues to pull through here, I think they'll come out much stronger than they went into it with, because people will trust them.
That is an interesting take. Like I was like scrolling this morning and I saw the Morpho founder must have been like in podcast or something else. I forgot. But yeah, he was saying what you were saying. He's trying to position himself as, we don't compete with Aave. We compete, like, our asset managers, our builders compete with Aave. So in this case, that's what you're saying, right? So if I'm a curator, but somehow I've built a great enough brand, I don't have skin in the game, these are different than, like, I know some protocols these days are mandating the curators to at least put 1 to 5% of their own capital, which mimics the banking model, or which is kind of safe. That's the whole reason why like 08 happens, because you don't have to put your money on the line as the banks. So I think that's a very interesting point. Yeah, I wonder if you agree with that, bro.
So I was looking at a few things, right? Like on my side is that Morpho got 8B TVL, Spark got 1.4B. I actually agree with JB's saying of, like, it's actually positive for Aave that it got bailed out, because it's almost a different type of insurance, right? I know that they're probably going to do it again. It's proven that people care. But I was thinking from a token point of view, right? What happens to the governance if they get this bailout? Who actually makes the call? Because tokens are not equities, right? Like, it's just not there. So that's what I was looking into. There's a few things, right? As token becomes the future revenue, let's say we just assume the value is only buyback, because the governance is proven to be less useful here in terms of token governance. And the second is if this happens again, who are it? Because they're not the government, they're just a DeFi group of rich people. It's not like they're the US government where, all right, here we go again, let's just save them again, kind of thing, right? So I've been debating after, like, the May vote, the governance vote, what would people think and what would happen actually. But I don't know, you guys probably have more insight in this, maybe talking with the people in the industry, etc.
Got it. Okay,